Hey folks, it's break time, and that means it's another edition of the Anime Break Room with your host, Will Medina, and my co-host, Dabir Weeks. Dabir, what's going on, brother? How we doing?
It's good, Will. Another beautiful Sunday.
Oh, beautiful indeed. That is true, yes. So we are here. Last week, me and Dabir with Lito talked about the Black Clover movie, Sword of the Wizard King, which is a pretty good episode, Dabir. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, we got into basically just the movie itself. We didn't try to get into too much of the series. We explained that the series was non-canon, didn't follow any of the story of the series itself. But the coincidence, a major coincidence, Dabir, was when Lito showed us that they're going to continue the Black Clover series. So we're excited, honestly. I can't wait. Like, it was super coincidence. Like once we recorded and then we published it, and then days later, Lito had said, "Yo, check this out." And I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." He said, they're listening. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see. But that was cool. Like I said, credit to Lito for showing up last week. My cousin, that definitely means a lot to us. You know, he did really well. And again, there'll be future more episodes with him on there. He's excited to do it. So definitely a pleasure. This week, though, Dabir, we have another special guest. A guy that I haven't known for maybe a year or two, roughly around a year or two. A guy that we work together with. And he's here to help us talk about this week's topic. And he's a huge fan of the anime. And basically one of the most popular animes right now in the world today, Demon Slayer Season 3. And here with us talking about it is the chief foreman of the cooler of our department, system foreman, Derek Bull. What's up, Derek? What's going on, man?
Thank you for that great interview or intro. Sorry. Doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. You know, I try and listen to you guys every Sunday, and when everything comes out, and just happy to be here.
Yeah, Derek is a big supporter of the show. We definitely appreciate it. It means a lot to us. Derek also gives us a lot of great feedback. So, like I said, it's much appreciative. Derek, you're relatively, how can I say this? You're fairly new to anime.
Yeah. It's I actually started getting more into it and watching more this last year or so after you, Dabir, and Abnel all told me about some, especially like some that I'd like Demon Slayer in fact. So
yeah, so we basically created a monster.
Yeah,
that's what we did.
Considering I'm reading everything too, and I'm all up to date.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because you at the time when we first met, you just watched Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that was my intro to it, and that was really all I watched.
I mean, which is typical. Like, you know, a casual fan would just automatically know. Oh yeah, I watched Dragon Ball Z. Like, so right. It was very typical. But when me and Abnel and Dabir was like, "Yo, check this out. Look at this. Yo, check out My Hero. Look at Demon Slayer." And then Dabir was like, not Dabir. I'm sorry. Derek's mind was blown.
Yep.
It was like, and now, like I said, we created a monster. So, but it's cool. It's cool to see your progression with anime. It definitely brings me, I would say, joy. It does, because it's pretty cool. You know. Especially from somebody who just started watching it, with your perspective, it's intriguing to me.
Yeah.
You know, it really is. So definitely appreciate, like I said, you supporting the show, and you know, just keep watching anime, man. You know, there's a lot, and you have even further your heights, I would say, or further your what's the word I'm looking for? Horizons, yeah, because you've have already dived into certain things that I'd never even recommended to you before.
Yeah.
You know, so it's cool that you're, you know, taking that chance and checking things out. So that's pretty cool, man, honestly. But with that being said, let's jump into our Top Talk segment. Basically, we're going to have Derek introduce himself to the audience and basically give our audience a couple things of how Derek got into anime and what basically makes Derek an anime head, I should say.
I mean, other than me wearing a Gyu Tomioka shirt right
now.
Yo,
that is dope. I'm not going to lie. That is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So, first question, Derek. What got you into anime?
I think, you said a couple episodes ago of, especially people around our age, is Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
And I just remember flipping through the channels, like I was telling Dabir when you were in the other room. I was just flipping through the channels and saw, like, oh, what's Dragon Ball Z? And I'm like 90% sure it was when Goku arrived on Namek, and then he just absolutely bodied the Ginyu Force.
Was that Raccoon?
Yeah, Raccoon, Birder, Jice.
Yeah.
And just, you had like Gohan and Krillin like looking on, and you're like, well, they seem so shocked about this.
Right.
And then you see like Goku's speed, and you're like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah.
And especially like the Ginyu Force's like outfits and stuff. I was like so hooked right there. Because it was just weird.
Yeah.
Did you start mimicking the whole, like, because when I was young, me and my cousin, and I think my brother at the time, because Goku was moving so fast, right?
Yeah.
So he moved so fast that you couldn't even see it to the naked eye, basically. Mm-hmm. So me and my cousin Chuck, which, by the way, shout out because he's a big supporter of the fan, we would try to mimic that movement. But we would like try to move, and it's like, oh, you didn't see me move, did you? It's like, yeah, I saw you move. So it was kind of stupid, but like we would try to mimic that, like that whole thing, because it was cool. Like, yeah, because you would see Jason Birder just fly right by Goku, boom, 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 and then it wouldn't even look like Goku was moving. Right. You know what I'm saying? It would just be like, he'd just stand there, just cool, and then like there was like, yo, what's up with this guy? And it's just like he's moving so fast that not even the naked eye can see. They can't even see it. Gohan and Krillin can't even see it. So that's what I'm saying. Like I would try to mimic that back. But as soon as I saw that episode, I would try to mimic that, and it would just be so ridiculous. But it was great.
I think I did. I know. I mean, I won't even lie about it. I was one of those kids to
try to turn Super Saiyan.
Just try and turn Super Saiyan. Kamehameha.
Have you seen the what was it, the one guy, Jaden? Oh my god, that is great.
I've seen that.
That was phenomenal. That's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, that was like everybody.
Oh yeah, everyone tried it. And if you said that you didn't, you're a liar.
Yeah, absolutely. I even tried to do the Piccolo when he was like meditating under the water. Like I would like literally.
I've done that at the pool. Yeah.
So that was dope. But yeah, man, that's cool. That's the dynamic that basically Dragon Ball Z was just our era. That was our era. Yeah. Right now, the kids right now, like I said, they're into Demon Slayer. My girlfriend's kid, his thing was Naruto. So every generation has their anime where they're just like, that's the one. So for us right here, it was DBZ. So next question, Derek. What is I should say your favorite moment or scene in anime? It's a scene that really got you. That you really feel attached emotionally.
So it's coming from DBZ again, and this is probably not a shock both of you know me, so
it obviously has to do with Gohan.
Oh yeah, it has to do with Gohan. Teen Gohan to be exact. Yeah. And it's when he finally goes Super Saiyan 2 against Cell, because it's he's sitting there and he's pleading like, yo, don't do this, please. Like I don't want to do this. And you have 16's head like looking at him. He's like, hey, you have to get mad sometimes. It's you're fighting to protect this world. And then Cell's like, ugh, this is still alive, and seeing that he's still alive, Cell just broke his head and just stepped on him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he stepped on him, right?
He stepped on him, and that's when I love the I don't want to say artwork for it, but I love the animation for it. Thank you. Of that red line that just goes through Gohan's head, and he just freaks out.
Right.
And I know they did that in Superhero too, where like they gave him that red line back, and that was just his rage for it.
Right.
Because then he fought all the Cell Juniors like single-handedly.
Right.
The other Z fighters were there fighting, but he's like, dude, Yamcha, get out.
Move. He was one-shotting them.
Yeah,
like, he was literally one-shotting. Yeah. It was one shot. Yeah. That was an interesting scene because it finally showed Gohan his true potential.
Yeah, his latent ability.
Yes, finally Gohan's the strongest being in the world, in the universe, I have to say, in the universe.
Yeah.
So that was, and we talk about Gohan all the time. You're a big Gohan fan.
Oh, yeah.
it was finally the prodigal son's already has arrived. You know, kind of. Yeah. It was his shining moment. Something everybody was waiting for. Everybody's kind of waiting for.
And with that too, because when Goku is like, "Hey, Gohan's the strongest one here," even the fans were like, right, Goku, we know you've getting hit in the head a lot. You sure about this, man?
Yeah. There was a lot of doubt, especially with Piccolo, and there was like, dude, like your son, like he's only 14, right?
He was around like 14.
Yeah, he had to be 14. He's like, dude, he's just a boy. Like he's not you. And Goku's like, nah, dude, he got this. Like hold his beer. You know what I'm saying? Basically. So. No, that was an iconic scene. Very iconic.
It's such a huge, and like that's one scene that I feel like everyone can go back and still get chills.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's funny because like Gohan's your favorite character in DBZ. My favorite character is Vegeta, and I get chills every time I see him when he first turns Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
that's like
he had a very good Super Saiyan transformation.
Yeah, very good. True. And so the last question, Derek, and we already know who one is, but who? Your top 3 favorite characters in anime as of right now.
Yep. Well, like you said, number 1, Gohan. Always. I mean, all his versions too. They're all great. Right. Number 2 is actually from Demon Slayer, and it's Kyojuro Rengoku.
Tasty.
That the first time I heard that like 16 times on the train, I was like, all right, move on to the next thing.
What was more annoying, flashy or tasty?
Honestly, I don't even. Probably flashy. Because it was just Tengen like, oh, hey, we're going to go do this, but we're going to do it in a flashy way. It's like, oh, okay, dude. Hey, be flashy about that. If you're going to do this, be flashy. I'm like, dude, okay, cool. Just stop saying flashy.
Keeping it flashy.
At least Rengoku stopped saying tasty after Tanjiro approached him.
Oh, that was great.
But number 3 is from My Hero Academia, and it's Shoto Todoroki. I personally think he has the best quirk in the entire show.
Yeah, the half and
half,
hot and cold. Yeah. For those who haven't read the manga, Dabir, read the manga.
yeah.
Read the manga.
I'm tempted.
Oh man, it's so good. I actually got a little further in it, and then some people popped up Dabir. Some
people,
some villains in the past popped up.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's good.
As Will, you normally say, if you know, you know.
Yeah. That's all. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's funny because I don't think it's just Shoto that you like. I just think you like the whole Todoroki family. Period.
Yeah.
I just think you like the drama that comes with the Todoroki.
Yeah.
family.
Honestly, when I was thinking about this too, because I know you told me like, hey, we're gonna ask you a couple questions. I'm like, all right, cool. I wrote down characters, and Dabi is an honorable mention.
Right.
Just everything with him, and I think you're right with the whole Todoroki family because it's just so much drama, and it's like
there's so much to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to cover with the Todoroki family, which I feel like it's a great episode. It'll be a great episode to have, but I just think, like I said, it just brings so much drama. And another element to the anime series itself, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody, Deku, he's trying to be a hero, the number one hero, always wants to save lives. That's great. But then you have this other element with the Todoroki family. You're just like, yo, that family's messed up. Like, there's a lot that's going on with this family.
And it's good too that it's so dramatic that it puts another emphasis on a story.
Right.
And like it's a story within a story, but it doesn't overshadow Deku and All for One.
Right. There's a good balance.
Yeah.
There is a good balance, so that's pretty cool to see. But that's an interesting top 3. But Derek also too, and I thought about this the other day. Before you got into anime, you were a big comic guy.
Yes.
American animation, comics, and all that. I feel like you have a good perspective on both comics and manga because you've read a good portion of Demon Slayer. You finished it, I should say.
Yes, and it is amazing.
You're all caught up on the My Hero manga, and you've read, I'm assuming, hundreds of comics.
Oh yeah, I have so many comics in my room. It's 90% of my bookshelf.
Nice. That's just pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've read probably maybe a couple comics here and there. I'm more, like I said, more of a manga. I've read way more manga than comics, so I have a little perspective on both. more manga than anything else. But I know, like I said, I think you have a better perspective than me as far as telling us what are the differences between comics and mangas. Not just differences, but similarities as well.
Yeah. So obviously is the artwork, and not just comics being colored and mangas usually being black and white. Just the way everything's drawn, and it's not a shot at any artists. I mean, I struggle.
Everybody has their style.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle drawing a stick figure. So
right. Like I said, I would never talk about anybody's drawing because I can barely draw myself.
Yeah.
I could barely draw a straight line. Let's put it that way. You know?
But yeah, like I said, it's mainly that, and then the storylines in comics are they're a lot different, and there's more of them,
right?
Because there's so many writers. There's so many different writers. Whereas,
like, they branch off each other.
Yes and no. Like, you'll have, like, if I wrote like a DC comic for, I don't know, 2 years, like I can have like 12 different volumes,
right?
But this is just my story. Well, you have a different version, and it's, there's different writers for the same characters.
Okay.
And with mangas, it's mainly
the one
writer. And perfect example of that is My Hero. Just one writer.
Right.
And
One Piece has Oda. That's
it. And yeah, like you said, like with One Piece, and then I feel that the comics are more established because they've been around longer. I mean, Batman's been around since May of 1939. Like that's a while.
Yeah.
And I mean, you go to any person on the street, you're like, hey, who's Batman?
Right.
They're gonna
know
what I mean? And like even Superman is June of 1938.
Yeah.
Like pre-40s.
Right.
Like they have a lot more depth.
I agree. The comics have established their mainstream popularity, but anime is establishing their popularity now. Like with One Piece taking over Times Square, Demon Slayer taking over Times Square recently. One Piece graphics all over football stadiums in England. Football stadiums is in soccer, but they call it football. Yeah. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So football stadiums in England, there's been a bunch of, all over the world, there's a bunch of conventions, for animes and stuff like that. So anime is making their mainstream popularity known. Like, mainstream is knowing anime and all that. But I agree with you to the point where comics was there first.
Yeah, and to kind of go off of what you said as well, it's kind of like the comics is passing the torch, so to speak.
Yeah. Because like I said, now everybody's going into, which I don't want to say comics are dead, because people are still into that. But I think you hear more of manga, you hear more anime. Japanese anime, you're still hearing more of that than anything else right now as far as pop culture.
Yeah, no,
is concerned, But no, that's pretty cool, man. Like I said, I thought you had a good perspective on both. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a big Dick Grayson fan.
Nightwing's my boy.
Yeah, but if you want to push Derek's buttons, you just tell him Jason Todd was a better Robin.
Jason Todd was a good Robin, but he's not. Look, there's no better Robin than Dick Grayson.
Yeah, right? No. Dick Grayson's the GOAT. That's for sure. I'll give him that. But with that being said, guys, Derek, that was good. No, I appreciate it. Chop Talk was great. But with that being said, guys, we're here to talk anime. We're here to talk Demon Slayer, Season 3, Swordsmith Village. It was a good season. Yeah. Rewatching it,
I enjoyed it.
I did too. Rewatching it, I enjoyed it too. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think my first time around, I don't think I enjoyed it as much. I don't know. Then watching it again, I was like, okay, you know what? This wasn't as bad as I thought it. Like, I don't want to say bad, but this was better than I thought it was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So rewatching it definitely gave me a little better perspective on the series itself. So with like,
just watching back too with I always mess it up. It's dubbed, right, in English?
Yeah, dubbed.
Listening to it dubbed, hearing Akaza's voice, Kokoshiba's, Muzan's, and Doma's voice is perfect.
I like Doma's
it was perfect
voice.
for it.
It did sound real good, yeah.
Yeah, no, they did. They only had half the season dubbed.
Yeah, that's it's so annoying.
But honestly, though, I think that gave it a better perspective of me. Like I was like, okay, this is like I said, hearing the dub, I was like, okay, it sounds pretty cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool to watch. So with that being said, though, let's jump into our lunch break topic. Season 3, Demon Slayer. Basically, let's start off with the Infinity Scene Castle because that was so dope.
Yeah, that was
so clean.
elite.
Did you guys feel like you were in a roller coaster too?
I felt like I was there.
Yeah,
I was jumping around without.
Yo, that was pretty cool. Like he's just like at first he's standing there and he's looking around. And all of a sudden, like the castle starts moving itself, and obviously the animation's ridiculous.
Oh, beautiful.
You know, it's so well done, but everything was just flowing, and I'm just like, yo, this is wild. Like just watching it was like an eye opener. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for them to all come together, all the upper ranks coming together, it was like the first time in like over 100 years they came together.
First time in over a century.
Yeah, and Akaza was like, yo, the only reason why we're coming together is because an upper rank was killed, you know? So what was the number 6?
Gyaturu.
Gyaturu?
Yeah, Gyaturu.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Gyaturu and Daki.
Yeah, Daki was a sister.
Yeah, Daki was.
Yeah.
Daki. Let's be honest. Daki was there.
Yeah. She didn't do much. But seeing that, and then you see number 5, I forgot his name. Gyoko. Number 4 was Hantegu.
Hantengu, yeah.
Hantengu. Number 3 was Akaza. Number 2 is Doma, which I think we all like Doma.
I like how condescending he is.
He's very condescending. Very condescending. Especially if you hear him dubbed. Whoever's doing the dub is perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's so it's so condescending, but it's so great. It's so entertaining. And then they finally showed Kokushiba, and man, he looked crazy.
Yeah,
like,
he's
elite.
Yeah,
as you like to say.
I mean, you see him, and you see why he's number 1.
Right,
absolutely.
Right. So Muzan gets them all together, and he's basically just dogging them because he's just like, bro, you guys are making me, you guys make me mad right now. You know, I'm upset. You know, because one thing he was trying to look for the master of the Hashra. He goes, you know, you guys haven't found him yet. You know, you guys are been disappointing me. It's been over 100 years. You know, we still haven't killed him, and he's going on and on and on. And Doma comes up and like, well, I'm sorry, Master. Would you like? Oh no, actually, before that, Doma comes up because when he talks about number 6 dying, Doma was like, "Oh, that's my fault, Master."
Yeah, I recruited them, so my bad.
Yeah, he goes, "Would you like an eye?" I was like, "Whoa, this is getting crazy." Like, it seems like Doma likes pain. Like, he's just not that he likes pain, but it doesn't bother him.
Yeah,
you know?
he's just so open to it, like how Akaza just punched him in the face.
Oh, you know, when he had his hand on him.
Yeah, and he punched him in the face, and he's just, hey, it's cool. You're getting stronger.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah. Even at the end when Kokushi was like, Akaza, you take everything too far, you know.
Yeah.
And then Dome was like, don't worry about it, Lord Kokushiba. It's all good. He can't hurt me, honestly. You know, because like,
I didn't dodge it on purpose.
Right. Just like being like a real jerk about it, you
Yeah.
know. So it was like, come on, dude. But it was great. Like their interactions, that interaction was great. I love the scene. You know, then Muzan because Gyoko has information on where the Swordsmith Village is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he takes Hantengu.
Yeah.
And so they jet to the Swordsmith Village. But it's funny because, you know, Doma, he's like, oh, can I go too? Can I go? And then, like, Akasa's like, dude, like, Muzan didn't tell you to go nowhere. So shut up. You know what I'm saying? So they all flee, and Doma's there by himself. And then, what was it? The lady with the...
hey, Biwa lady, you want to come down here and hang out with me? I respectfully decline.
And she ships his ass off somewhere else. You know,
Like, everyone's so mean to me.
Yeah, that was great. No, that was a good scene. I love that scene.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite line. Like, hey, Biwa lady.
Yeah. He's just like... I don't know.
He's childish.
Yeah,
but,
very childish. Very childish. That's a good word. Very childish. It was great. It was a great scene. Then we jump into the scene where Tanjiro finally wakes up from his 2-month coma.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which was pretty funny because, I mean, they showed the dream, and you know, obviously there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of foreshadowing with that dream.
Yeah.
You know, they show his like kind of his past and all that stuff. You know, so definitely, if you've watched the season, definitely keep in mind that scene with his his dad?
It was his grandfather, I
Yeah.
believe.
His grandfather.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
it. I believe it was his grandfather because
Yeah.
the baby was Tanjiro's father.
Okay. Okay. So, like I said, keep in mind, I think that scene is very important, right?
Yes, without saying too much.
Okay.
Yes, it shows that because that was Yoriichi.
Yeah.
It shows that he knows the Komodos.
Okay. Okay. So, but yeah, it was cool seeing that little flashback. Then Tanjiro wakes up. Everybody's excited that he's up. He's well. He's fine. And then everybody gathers into the room, and so he goes, "Oh, so how's Zenitsu? Zenitsu's already on a mission with against his will, obviously.
But he doesn't cry as much anymore.
Yeah. And then Tanjiro's like, "Oh, yeah, so how's Inosuke?" He's like, "Oh, I think they said Inosuke was dead, right?"
They're like, we barely. I think they said,
alive,
he was
yeah.
barely
Barely
alive,
alive.
like because he even like the breathing techniques like could only like stop the poison so much,
Right.
Which I loved that entire thing too, which because go ahead because it's the part that I'm thinking of comes after.
Where Tanjiro's like, okay, so they're kind of like all like downplaying it, right? Or not down, but they're all like getting emotional. I should say getting emotional, not downplaying. They're getting emotional. Yeah, and then so Tanjiro's like, okay, so seeing Inosuke on the ceiling is just
Like a hallucination.
it's just hallucination, right? And then they all look up and he goes, hey,
Just lands on the bed. I'm stronger than you, Kanpachi Cho.
yo, I swear to God, dude. I guess he's going on me.
I'm telling you, man, he's such a funny character.
Yeah, he's so unique. Yeah.
The one thing that I like too is that what I was gonna say was they're like, oh yeah, his body reacts different to poison because he's so like thick skinned.
Right.
And I loved that because he's so dumb. He's just that means I can't die, and they're like, no, you could still die. It's It takes harder. It's longer for the poison to affect you.
Right.
Poison and medicine, so you need to go lay down.
So you need to
medicine
go lay
don't
down.
work that well for you now
Yeah,
too.
he's like I said, he's a character. At first, I was like, oh, he's so annoying, and I'm just like, I guess his comedic relief makes him like, okay, he's actually entertaining. Like he's entertaining to watch, and then just him constantly get Tanjiro's name wrong, Genpachi or something like that. He always be saying some crazy stuff, bro. But that was pretty cool. Then finally, Tanjiro, starts healing, gets stronger, and is ready to go back out. But his sword chips, and that's a problem for Tanjiro because not the sword problem, the guy that's making the sword,
Mr. Haganazga.
Yo, talk about awkward. Okay, this dude is awkward, but yeah, he just writes him a letter.
Yeah, he's like,
Writes him
oh,
a few,
and it's like, I'm going to curse you. I never want to see you again.
Yeah,
I'll never make you a sword ever.
Yeah. That was. He's funny, but it's Tanjiro's like reading the letter and he's like all nervous. He goes, oh man, like So then he decides to. I think he decides to go to the Swordsmith Village, right? Or they send him there.
I think it was kind of like a both thing. He's like, I need a new sword. They're like, well, hey, why don't you just go to the village?
Yeah.
Okay. So he ends up going to the village. Now, I like how they do this because obviously everybody knows the Swordsmith Village is a secret location. It's it's very well secured, So in order to keep that secrecy, they blindfold Tanjiro, they put earplugs in him, and they even put nose plugs in him because his sense of smell is just that strong.
Yeah, they know how good it is. Yeah.
Right. So they just we're gonna travel like this, and for him to go through the whole village or through the whole trip with just no senses whatsoever, it's pretty crazy.
And then not to mention too, they also changed like the runner for it and the crows even too.
Right.
That was pretty interesting.
So nobody knows the exact route where the Swordsmith Village is, which is pretty unique. I thought it was unique.
Yeah, I like that because just in case anybody gets kidnapped by a demon at any point or moves on, they won't be able to get any. It sucks because they're not going to survive it, but they're not going to get any information out of them though.
Right. So it was pretty unique. That was pretty cool. I like that. So he finally gets to the Swordsmith Village. That's gonna be a tongue twister. He finally gets there, and he meets Mitsuri at first, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I want to say he meets Mystery.
I think he does. Yeah, no, he does.
He meets Mystery
because as soon as he gets there, he kind of meets everyone.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, they're like, "Hey, you're gonna meet the the chief of the village later.
Oh, yeah,
but in the meantime, he's not ready for you. Just we have like a hot springs if you want to go." And that's where Mitsuri came down full barrel.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh my god, it's gonna pop out."
And he's like, "Oh, stop!"
Yeah.
I love that too because like you see more of her character. She's like, "Oh, I met someone up there and they ignored me," and she's like so heartbroken because she said hi and I'm a Hashira and it was Genya.
Yeah,
and then Genya just didn't care.
No, I think he was. I think he was shy.
Well, I mean, I would be shy too with Mystery and Hot Spring.
Later on, you do find out, he blushes around her really bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he probably has a crush on her or something. Yeah.
How can you not?
Yeah. So, but they end up meeting, and then he gets in the hot spring. He meets Genya. Genya's like a real jerk to him. Actually, crazy. The truth. He chips the tooth. The tooth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The tooth. He chips it, throws it at Tanjiro. Tanjiro grabs it, and then like later on,
he kept it.
Yeah, that's weird. He kept it. It's so weird.
Did you lose a tooth?
Here you go.
Yeah.
It's like, why did you keep it?
Yeah. It was so weird, but it was crazy how the tooth just grew back. Like, again, foreshadowing. What I'm saying,
before we even knew.
Who Genya really was, you're just like, okay. That's weird that he grew a tooth. You know what I'm saying? It's even weirder Tanjiro kept the tooth.
Yeah.
But it is like, okay, he grew another tooth.
He wanted to bond in their nakedness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was really trying to bond with Genya really hard.
He really was. Like, yo, we're going to be friends now.
Yeah. No, Genya's like, no, get away from me.
He's like, dude, no. There's like 50 feet in this hot spring.
You're
2
2
feet next to me.
It's funny. We're going to jump off topic. I don't like when stalls are together.
Oh yeah, no,
that's how I feel like. If the stalls in the bathroom are together, don't use the next one. No, don't wait until I'm done.
Every man's all the guys listening right now know exactly what's going on.
So I think that's how I felt. Like Genya was like, dude, I'm naked, you're naked. Let's not get close, okay? Just stay away for a little bit, So, but yeah, they end up meeting, and then fast forward to where Mitsuri's telling Tanjiro about the sword or about this weapon.
Yeah,
she didn't say it's a sword or anything. I think she says it's a weapon, a powerful weapon. Since she's gonna stay in the Swordsmith Village for a while, he's like, you should try to look for it. Because I think she was leaving that night.
Yeah, she was. Because they're like, hey, the chief is done with your sword. Yes. You can go inspect it.
Yeah. And so she was leaving that night, and then so this is where Tanjiro was like, okay, you know what? I think we're gonna go look for this weapon that Mitsuri was talking about.
I liked that too because it showed him and Nezuko together, and I liked that it was like a family kind of thing. Yeah. Because he's like, it's like a treasure hunt, Nezuko.
Yeah.
He's like, I wonder where we're gonna go find it, and like what adventure it's gonna bring.
It's like mini Nezuko.
Yeah.
She's adorable.
Oh, I love Nezuko.
She's adorable. That mini Nezuko. She's doing all these noises.
And she styled her hair like Mitsuri.
Oh, like Mitsuri. Yeah.
Her big sis.
Oh, yeah. She embraced Mitsuri real quick. She really did. So he's looking for this weapon, and all of a sudden he runs into Kotetsu and Tokido. With somebody else who is in the distance that he thinks is a person, but it ends up being Yoriichi.
Yeah, the Yoriichi type
zero doll. Yeah.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
I thought it was him. I'm like, yo, what?
Yeah, to end episode 1 like that was a super cliffhanger. You're like, yo, what's this?
Who is that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like it kind of had you at the edge of your seat. And then like I said, Yoriichi was the man in Tanjiro's dream.
Yes.
He was a legendary swordsmith who cut Muzan.
Yeah, he was the one who almost took Muzan's head.
Yeah.
Legendary swordsman,
Yeah, so they had a doll, just replicated doll of him, which is pretty cool. And then with the 6 arms, to replicate how his movements were and stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's insane too.
Fast,
yeah. It was very fast. So he meets Tokido for what Tokido believes is the first time, but it's the second time. And so Tokido's he's the Miss Hashira. All right, Tokido's the Miss Hashira. Mitsuru's the love Hashira. And so Tokido's real obnoxious with them at first,
Yeah,
especially with Kotetsu, because
he's very abrasive.
Yeah, he just like, bro, just give me this so I can train and just leave me alone. And Kotetsu's like, you're gonna break it. I don't want you to break it. It was like his father. His father's
Yes.
right?
It was his
definitely from his one of his ancestors.
Okay.
Yeah, and he didn't know how to fix it.
Okay.
He's like I don't know how to fix it if it breaks.
Right.
And
He wasn't very confident in repairing it. If he had to repair
Yeah,
it.
because his father had passed early. He said he didn't have any siblings.
Yeah.
And it was built like, what was it, like 300 years ago or something? So it's a very old.
Yeah.
mechanical doll,
It was a very old doll, But eventually Tokido just he smacks. He basically mollywops Tanjiro, right?
Wait, too.
Yeah.
Because Tanjiro steps in because he's being a jerk to Kotetsu too.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, what are you doing? This is a little kid. And like, Tokido grabbed, and I like that too because he grabbed Tokido at first, and he's like, how are you so strong?
Yeah.
You're like a toothpick.
Yeah,
this is weird.
I think the baggy clothes was a deception.
And that's actually something I read is that he has those baggy clothes, so it's harder to read his movements.
Yeah, okay.
Which still the Mist Hashira.
Right,
so it's a cool parallel.
That's pretty cool. I like that. So like I said, he basically mollywops Tanjiro, knocks him out, takes the doll. He's done. He's done his training. He didn't damage the doll as much as he just took off an arm.
Yeah, he took off an arm,
Yeah,
and
he
he's
took
like,
off an arm.
and he's like, "Hey, my sword chipped, so I'm
Yeah.
taking this one."
Right.
And then I think he threw the sword at Kotetsu. He's like, "Go fix this."
No, he threw it at Tanjiro's head. It literally bounces off his head. He's like, give this to
His swordsmith.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then that's where Kotetsu, is appreciative of Tanjiro, because Tanjiro's trying to calm him down. Like, listen, you'll be okay, dude. You'll figure it out. I'll help you figure it out. And then Kotetsu's like, okay, what I'm saying, you're a really nice person. I'm gonna help you train. So when they get the Type 0 doll back, he's putting Tanjiro through the ringer.
Oh yeah, no food, no drinks, anything until you land a hit.
Poor
or something.
Tanjiro,
He
dude.
put him
Like,
through it.
oh
God.
yeah, he was basically ruthless.
Yeah.
Like he was a tough teacher.
Yeah.
But then eventually, because I think Tanjiro also too didn't want to break the dog for Kotetsu. You know what I'm saying? That was another thing
how
too.
caring Tanjiro is.
He's very caring, and so he didn't want to break that. But when Kotetsu was like, "Yo, just do it. It's fine. It'll be okay." When eventually he breaks it,
Yeah, because he saw the hesitation in Tanjiro, if you remember, because he went to go like absolutely just have like a killing blow to it.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, I don't want to break it."
Right.
And with that, Kotetsu's like, "Dude, it's fine. I'll fix it." And it's funny too, isn't it? How he's like, he told Tokido, he's like, "Dude, I don't want you to break it. I don't want you to break it." And then Tanjiro's like, "Oh, I don't want to break it." He's like, "Dude, just break it. I'll fix it."
Yeah,
and he's like, "You said you don't know how to fix it."
Yeah, I think he found, I think he was okay with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know what? We'll be okay. Like, eventually he'll figure it out probably kind of thing. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then probably if they ever go back to him in this series, which I don't know if they will, I don't know. Don't quote me on this. He might make another dog that's better. You know what I'm saying? So there's a potential character development in the making there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Just to show you.
And Dabir, how you said, a while ago, Tanjiro got a new move essentially to that sense of like, oh, the right arm's gonna strike me, going for the head.
Yeah.
And he was able to read the battle movements.
Oh, because of the Type 0 and all that. Yeah.
Stopping from getting chopped up, he unlocked a new
Ability.
Yeah, we'll call it a new ability. Yeah.
New ability.
Yeah, because he got
or like a technique was like more like the same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing.
ability technique. Yeah. So he has the one where he has the they haven't shown in a while, but that what did he call it?
It's like the direct line. I don't know.
Oh, it was like
the direct thread or something.
Yeah,
like that.
thread.
thread,
Yeah, the thread, like kill thread. So now he has a thread to be able to detect attacks now.
Okay.
It was like a blue color or something like that.
I think it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's like I said, Tanjiro has a lot of great development, which we'll get to later on in the show. But I want to get to the one scene where now they find the sword. Haganessa gets all crazy, real awkward.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, and they're like, dude, what? And then he's like super jacked.
Comes out the woods like Hulk.
Dude, whatever steroids he's taking, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. Like, this dude is like jacked, But he ends up coming, takes the sword, this whole leave it to me. Very awkward,
What does that even mean? Leave it to me.
Yeah. So he eventually takes the sword. And mind you, the sword is like 300 years old, right? Mm-hmm. It's an old sword.
Yep.
So he's going to try to refurbish this sword and bring it back to its, first state. Like just make it brand new again. Mm-hmm. So he's doing that. Somebody gives Tanjiro a sword, like a little a sword just to hold on to for a while, right?
Yeah, because I think he was using one of the swords from the Euro.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And he's like, hey, like, thanks for letting me use this. He's like, no, dude, keep it until your sword's done.
Right. So he takes that. So the next scene that I want to talk about is where everything just starts going crazy. So as far as like, things get crazy, things get wild. So at the beginning of the scene, Mutual just shows up in Tanjiro's bedroom or hotel room out of nowhere, just plugs his nose, which is super weird. It's like, dude, like, what's wrong with you? Why'd you do that? He goes, well, it wouldn't happen if you had better reactions. It's like,
and like that too is like, I'm asleep. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was weird. So they're talking and stuff like that, and all of a sudden, Hantegu just comes into, like, for him just to come walk into that room unnoticed was like, everyone was like I think it was like a shell shock to Tokido and Tanjiro. Just like they kind of looked like, yo, this dude really walked in here.
It was like, is someone here? The door just opened.
Yeah, the door opened and he's
creeping in.
Yeah.
Like, and it looked like, honestly, it took like a couple of seconds to kind of reflect, like, that's a demon.
Yeah, it's like, can we help? Are you crying?
Yo, yeah. So I want to say this. When I first saw Hantegu, I was like, dude, this is gonna be trash, because he was just like crying and all frazzled and everything.
Yeah.
But bro, when Tokido tried to cut him the first time, his movements was crazy.
When he jumped to the ceiling at the speed of light.
It even took Tokido by surprise. He was like, yo.
He's like, oh, he's fast.
Yeah. Well, that's taken by Tokido by surprise.
Yeah.
Very, very nonchalant. But yeah. And so when they finally cut him, right? Because they finally cut him in two.
Yeah, they cut it. I think, they cut his head. And then that's where the two emotions come out.
Bro, when I saw that, I was like, game changer. Because I was like, yo, he's not as bad as I thought he would be.
Yeah.
And so that's when anger and pleasure. Was it pleasure? It was pleasure.
It was pleasure because he had the fan.
Yeah, because pleasure came out and just smacked Tokido to like next week or something like that.
Sent them flying.
He was like...
Without even much force either, it looked like.
Yeah.
It was like a gentle just drop the fan.
It was nuts. So this is where I kind of want to talk about, because now Tokido is kind of far away. He's away from that battle scene. Obviously Tanjiro, he's fighting the emotions with Nezuko, and then Genya shows up.
Yep.
So we'll get back to that later. I want to talk about Tokido. His backstory first and foremost, like the resolve that it gave him. First of all, his backstory is sad. We'll put it that way.
Super sad.
It is real sad. Like, he lost his parents in the same day, basically. His mom to illness. His dad was trying to help his mom to find, some sort of herbs or
something to
help her along. And as he's thinking about it, I should say too, because when he got stuck in that water prison, he imagined Tanjiro. As he's dying, he imagined Tanjiro, and then Tanjiro is saying these words that he was like, yo, he's never said that to me before. Mm-hmm. And eventually he realizes it was his dad.
Yeah.
It was through Tanjiro's body, but his dad's words,
And I liked that too, because Tanjiro really had an effect on Tokido. Yeah. Because with that too, how he told, because he told Tanjiro, he told Tokido way before that too. He's like, hey, stop being a jerk. Just, if you do something good for someone, karma and fate is going to return that.
Return the favor.
And earlier when he was running back after getting blown 6 miles away.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
He was, and that's the one thing that I really liked about Tokido too, is his strategic mind.
Right.
Because he's running back. He's like, all right, first priority, the chief. Second priority, the people who make the swords. Third priority, I don't know, maybe that like weird girl and her brother. And it was just cool to see that. And that's where he saved Katetsu.
From the demon fish, basically.
Yeah.
Because he was gonna save him at first. He goes, he's not
definitely about to leave him.
Yeah, he's not a priority. But it shows the development. Like he, like you said, Tanjiro had a big effect on him in that short of time too. Like that was like the first time they really interacted with each other.
That's true.
So for Tanjiro to have that big effect on him, just like that, was like, yo, okay, maybe he's onto something. So he saves Katetsu. They're gonna go to the shack where Haganeska and Tokido's swordsmith is at. Yeah, that's where he gets trapped into the water-based prison, and he imagines Tanjiro's body, but through his dad's words, and then I'm sorry, then he breaks out of the water-based prison. I'm sorry. Tongue twister. Water-based prison. He breaks out of it, and it was, I don't know.
Tell us how you feel about it.
It was weak. It was a little weak, but I get it. I get it to a point where it's like he was running out of air. He didn't really have anything to bring him any oxygen. You know what I'm saying? So I guess blowing air into the water vase was a good idea for Katetsu, but it just reminded me of like Sonic the Hedgehog, the video games. Yeah, where he's like, well, you're dying, you know what I'm saying? You got to find those bubbles, and you're like, and then you're okay, you're good. I see. So that's what it kind of reminded me of. But I was like, okay, like I get it. I just thought he was gonna have like Dabir. It would have been cool because I know you didn't mind it, which is cool. I definitely
it was a meaningful gesture because he helped him. He saved Kotetsu.
And I get where you're coming from because that does make sense when you put it that way. I just felt like they could have had those marks unleashed. And then he, have an awakening attack out of it. You know what I'm saying? That I thought that would have been a little more flashy. No point intended. I know.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Flashy. But
no, that would have been a flashy way for him to.
But you're right though. It shows the karma. It shows and it shows the character development. Kotetsu's like, yo, seaweed had saved me. You know what I'm saying? And so I got to return the favor. You know what I'm saying? And he's looking at Katetsu's like, what can you do?
Right, like, what are you doing? You can't break through it.
Because like, even then, Katetsu was like stabbing at the vase with a knife.
Yeah, and it wasn't even.
No, it wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was a little weak, but at the same time, it was meaningful. Yeah. It was very symbolic. You know what I'm saying? So, to Dabir's point, it was good. It was good.
And he was reflecting on his backstory a lot in that vase too.
Well, I think he got out of the vase, and then he started really reflecting on it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because that's when the other demon fish were coming after him with those poison needles. I think they were. It was some sort of needles they were coming at him with.
I think after he got out of the vase, he fought Gyoko. When he sent like that fish wave at him, and he sliced through all of them.
Well, because the way I remember it, like I said, he gets out of the vase, and then there's an attack coming his way, and that's where he starts thinking about his mom and his dad. They died, his backstory, and basically his brother being real harsh on him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like his brother couldn't really deal with loss, in my opinion. I think that's how, I don't know. That's how I kind of remember it, because he's out of the water vase prison. Jeez, that's going to tear me up today. He's out of that prison, and I think he's already contemplating or reflecting on his life, and his memories starting to come back and everything. And then, like I said, his brother, like when he finally realizes, you know, he was alive for a year with his brother, or like, you know, years go on and his brother was alive.
Yeah.
You know, how his brother treated him, you know, saying very, like I said, harshly. But like I said, his brother couldn't deal with the fact that I think he took a lot of blame for his parents dying.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you guys agree with that or not. I think that's what it really comes down to, because he said in his backstory where I told dad not to go. I told mom to rest when she was too tired. I
definitely
told them
feel like they should have listened to him.
Yeah. So that's how I feel like he took a lot of blame for their passing and for, you know, for their deaths and stuff like that.
I think he said it too, because he's like, I didn't want Michiro to be upset like I was.
Right.
So I took that.
But he
burden.
always talked down to him. Like he always say the mutual stands for
like garbage or
Yeah.
nothing.
So he was talking down to it, which is kind of weird. But at the same time, you know, as the backstory unfolds and the demon shows up where, you know, they're in their place, you know, where they were living, the demon shows up and basically it's gonna attack Mutual. His brother jumps in, cuts his arm off, you know, like that was nuts. Like his arm severed, right, you know, took it right off. And then that's where Mutual just blacked out. Yeah. You know, which was crazy. I love how they did that, because basically when you black out and you're in, like, well, how could I say, like, you're in a corner and you have nowhere to go but through people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that fight or flight.
You just see red.
And then it was on top of his brother pounding on top of him, like, you know, just, no, we're not gonna do this, we're not gonna dream, you know, we're woodcutters, we're gonna cut this wood, we're gonna make some money, we're gonna take care of ourselves, we're gonna live. Right. So right after that was happening, then a demon coming over here, literally talking to him the same way. Yeah. On top of seeing his brother like that, and then the blackout. Right, you know?
Right. That all just came. Yeah, it was like, so
much
was
on his brain,
like, yeah,
so much.
Yeah. There was so much to take in at that, and like I said, just for that, just to show it that way, like how he just saw red, how Mutual just saw red, and then like when they showed him back, it was just like this demon had no limbs,
no limbs, no head.
Yo, it was just like crazy, and then he just like the sun just devoured him, or just like disintegrated him right after. It was nuts, you know. Then he eventually goes back and sees his brother, and that's where his brother apologizes to him, which was pretty sad. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think his brother was hallucinating because he didn't realize Mutual was there.
Oh yeah.
He was already like it was a point where he was like, yo, he's done. Like it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? But he's just talking, but he's basically telling Mutual, or he's just basically saying how he really feels and everything, and he wants Mutual to be taken care of, and he wants him to still be a good person, keep being a good-hearted person, basically, is what he was trying to say. And then that's where Mutual finds his resolve. Yeah. You know, and that's where he starts going in. Like, he starts working the fish. He takes care of the fish, and then he meets up with Gyoko, and I'm not a big fan of Gyoko either, you know, but Mutual just, he gets in his head. Yeah. And I love that. Like when they finally clash and when they finally, you know, get together, he gets into his head, and it's just like he's playing mind games with him, which is pretty awesome.
Which even like Haganezuka was doing it too. Like not
subconsciously,
because he's like, Gyoko was trying to stop him. He's like, good, I got that, and he's back to sharpening the sword.
Yeah, honing the sword.
He's like, all right, this is getting annoying. Yeah. But like I also liked how Gyoko is like, you know what? It's annoying that he's not paying any attention to me, but I like the amount and I respect the amount that the dedication to his art
as an artist. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But I love the part. I love the part where it's Gyoko and Tokido, and Tokido's just kind of looking kind of oddly at this vase, and he goes, "You know what? That vase is a little crooked." And it just, Gyoko's just like,
he's like, nah. He's like, I'm done, kid.
Yeah. He goes, you gotta die now. Like, you know, don't talk about my art, you know. But man, does Tokido put work in? I mean, he's just like, he even said it. He found the zone. You know what I'm saying? He found, and I think it was more because he found his resolve. You know, he found that, you know, oh, this is where I'm from. This is my memory. This is where I've been lost. You know, this is what I've been missing
he felt
out.
Whole again.
Yeah.
He had
That's
that
what it
cloud
was.
over. He had that mist over his head.
That's perfect. I like that. That is good. He had that mist over his head. That was really good. So when he finally found that, he just, like I said, put in work on Gyoko, destroyed him. I love the ending where, you know, he finally cuts his head, right? Because he uses the 7th form, which is dope.
Oh, yeah.
It was like
an obscuring mist or something like that.
I love the name of it, too, yeah.
And it was like he was moving fast.
Yeah. Like he was leaving after images.
Yeah, that's
the
because we were
best
talking
word.
we were talking about yesterday, or not yesterday, Friday. We were talking about it Friday. It was like, dude, it was like he was moving so fast, but at the same time, he was just like
he was projecting himself.
And then you're right. That's
like
a good word, after image. Yeah, he was just leaving after images, and Gyoko's calling around and is like, oh, where is he? And then like finally he just comes straight at him.
Yeah.
And it just easily decapitates him. And it's funny because as Gyoko's head's turning around, he's like, wait, I'm upside down? Why is this?
He's like, wait, my body's over there. Why is he upside down? Wait a minute. Oh no, my head. Yeah, I got decapitated.
I'm decapitated?
Yeah, it took a while to actually like, you know, okay, this is really happening.
Well, his head's still falling.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
That was great. And
Those
then
show
he was
his
still
speed.
talking mad.
Oh, yeah,
he
he
was
wouldn't
still
shut
talking
up.
mad. Yeah. And then Tokyo was like, okay, I gotta end this. And he just like sliced and diced him.
Just gave him the trunks treatment.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
absolutely.
The trunks treatment. Yeah, gave him the trunks treatment. So that was great.
No time for a backstory for him. He's
Oh yeah. I like how you said on Friday. He goes, how Tanjiro kind of like, okay, where did this demon come from?
He's like, hey, I know that we fought and it's cool. I won, whatever. But tell me your backstory. Tell me what made you become a demon. And Tokyo does this. Nah, I got no time for this.
Yeah, we're done. Boom, 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 boom. And that's it. That was it.
Time to go.
Yeah. No, like I said, Tokyo had a good backstory. Another one who had a good backstory was Genya.
Yes.
Genya's backstory was pretty. It was pretty emotional.
Too.
Yeah. You want to know what's weird too? Is they dropped that episode on Mother's Day.
No, really?
It was on Mother's Day. Yeah.
I didn't realize
It
that.
was on Mother's Day when that
So
episode came out, and
Wow.
Yeah.
Parents
Even on
die.
Crunchyroll in the comments, everybody was saying like, "On Mother's Day, are you serious?"
Well, that's pretty. That's
That's
nice.
dark.
Yeah. Yeah, it is dark. It is very dark. I didn't realize that. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know, well, you know, his mother turned into a demon. You know, they didn't even explain how she got turned into.
They didn't. She they said that mother works late.
Yeah.
And like she'd come home late, and it was because all of the kids were just in the room waiting for their mom, and they didn't have a dad.
Well, they did. He was abusive.
Oh,
but
right.
he died.
He died because
they killed him.
Right.
Because I guess gambling debts. I think it was.
Yeah, somebody stabbed him.
Yeah. Which they didn't carry because he was a jerk.
But even like they're, hey, the mom's not coming back. Mom's not back yet. And Sanemi,
who's the one Hashira?
Yeah, the Wind Hashira, super cool.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, I'll go look for mom. And that's when Genya too is like, oh, I'll come with you. He's like, no, dude, stay with everyone else. I'll bring back mom.
He's doing his older brother. Duties.
So then, when the mom first appeared, as you know, when she turns into a demon, like Genya thinks it's like a wild,
like a wild
wolf,
dog or
like
wolf.
he thinks it's like some sort of wolf or like a wild dog or something. And he's in because it's dark, you know.
Yeah.
It's dark. They didn't show any light, so. When that's happening, and already like all his brothers and sisters were all dead, like
just a one shot through the door.
One shot,
Pretty messed up.
And so as it's gonna attack Genya, and obviously it shows how Genya had that scar in his face.
Yeah, got the scars and stuff.
So it's gonna go after Genya again, and then that's where Sanemi comes in and saves.
Yeah, saves him.
Saves him, and then so they're going into the distance, somewhere. And so Genya's like, oh, I gotta go look for my brother because all my siblings are,
Yeah, there's no reason for me to be here right now.
All my siblings are dead. So when he finally finds his brother, when Genya finally finds Sanemi, his mother's, he sees his mother dead, and he he basically is upset, with Genya.
Yeah.
Like, or with Sanemi. He's upset with his brother. Like, yo, you killed Mom. Like, how can you do that?
Yeah.
And all this. And he didn't realize at the time. Because they were young. He was young.
And I like how they did that, too, is because, like, as a child, you don't see that stuff.
Right,
it's
right,
like,
right.
He just seen his brother standing over his mom.
You just
like,
see the result.
With
You didn't
knives.
see
Yeah.
And, he's like, you're a murderer. You're not my brother.
Right.
Like, all this. Like, you killed our mom.
Right,
and, like,
right. And then as he gets older, his perspective changes, and he realizes, he understands.
And you see that with the in the fight too against the emotions,
right?
Because Tanjiro's like, Genya, go kill that demon. I'll hold him off here.
Right.
And he almost gets attacked from behind. He's like, I'm sorry, like I just wanted to be a Hashira, to be close to you, and I want to apologize for all the things I said back then.
Yeah. Genya's an interesting character too, because out of nowhere, he's a demon.
Yeah.
What is going on?
When they showed that, I was like, okay, like, whoa, like, what is, like, like Dabir said, what is going on? Like, how did this happen? And I guess it's because when he devours, the other demons, he takes their characteristics and their traits.
Yeah, and their strength.
So that was pretty cool. When I saw that, I was like, oh,
Right.
bro, that's pretty wild.
I wonder if in the future, are they gonna show like what situation was he in to make him do something like that, to find that out? It'll
be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how he figured it out. Yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, Genya was a pretty cool character. Very brash.
I liked his double barrel shotgun too. I liked,
it was different.
Yeah, and that's what I liked.
Yeah, it was different.
The armory.
Yeah, I liked it. It was pretty cool. It was very different. Genya was a very different character. I like the part too where and I'm kind of gonna move forward a little bit, but when he grabbed that tree out of the roots and threw it at Hantegu, like that was crazy.
I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Going back just a smidge, referencing Genya and Tanjiro and Nezuko, because obviously they were all fighting Hantegu's emotions.
Right.
And I know that it was brought up of the pace. A lot of people didn't like the pace of season 3.
Right. There were some comments on social media that a lot of people made. Yeah.
And I know one of them was Tokido being that water vase.
Right.
Well, the thing is too is that he went in at 5 and got out at
episode 5.
Yeah, episode 5 and got out at episode 7. But that's when in episode 6 is when hatred showed up. Yeah.
Because here's my thing. Rewatching it again, I don't understand why people said pace. And all the three of us here agree that the pace was fine. So if anybody wants to come tell me why they feel like the pace was a little messed up, I would be glad to hear their opinion on it.
Yeah, their perspective.
Yeah, their perspective. Because how I look at it is like this. They didn't show Tokido in the water prison for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
They jumped to Tanjiro, Genya, and Nezuko fighting Hantegu and the emotions. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just stick with, okay, we're going to stay here for 2 episodes and he's floating in water and, I'm just here dying again for episode 6, now 7. No, they showed a lot more than just, him in the water. I want to say, I'm like I said, I'm just speculating. I guess people were upset when they went back to Tokido. He was still in the water prison, the water vase.
Yeah.
But don't you want to see how he gets out? If you're still upset, how is he getting out of that situation? It just can't. Oh, he's out. Oh, okay. But they're fighting again. Okay, cool. Like, no, I kind of want to see how he gets out of that situation, how he gets out of that adversity. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, you got to have that story in it.
Right.
And like a little build up there,
Yeah. And like I said, it was important. I think that water vase prison alone was important to his development.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, a lot of people had issue with the pace, but like I said, it had a good pace. I enjoyed it. Like I didn't think there was anything wrong with the pace of the anime, honestly. So that was just my opinion. And I think we all agreed.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay. So, but we talked about Genya backstory, which is great. Tanjiro, so Genya Nezuko and Tanjiro they're all fighting the emotions, everything, and then like you said, hatred appears because anger just absorbs everybody else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty cool. Like that was pretty dope. I like seeing that. I like the design of hatred too.
Oh yeah.
Like
even his fit. I mean, the man had drip.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. He had the drip and he had like the drums and he's not even looking when he hits the drums. He hits the drums and those dragon heads come out of nowhere and everything. So that was pretty cool. But it was cool to also see because he's hatred. Mitsuri's love.
Yeah.
It was cool to see that dynamic.
Yeah, I've never thought about that.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Of them clashing at each other, you know?
Nice.
One thing with hatred too, I know you brought this up at work when we were sitting there, is how he turned the narrative.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when he turned the narrative, he's like, you're going after this weak, defenseless person. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
And Tanjiro's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you've killed so many people. He's like, cool, how many demons have you killed? He's like,
that's not the point.
It's like, it's not a debate, man.
Yeah. No, that was interesting how he turned the narrative on all of them because, like I said, Hantegu, the main body itself, isn't a force. He's really just a crying, whiny demon. Like, you know, that's all he does, you know. But it's the other emotions around him that put in the work. And then for hatred to turn around the narrative on Tanjiro and everybody else was like, that was new. I was like, woo, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I like how they did that. Like that was pretty unique on how they did that. But just to go back to like, cause like I said, I like to talk about Mitsuri because I think Mitsuri is the typical fantasy girl anime character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she definitely gives me Sailor Moon vibes, the beard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She does. And I love the dynamic of their battle where, like I said, it was love versus hatred. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that too.
That was pretty cool. Like I love that dynamic of that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
And for Mitsuri too, like her backstory is very simple. She's love Hashira. She's just looking for love. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful girl looking for love. You know? She wanted to get married, but she wasn't a typical woman. You know what I'm saying? She was very strong. She had a hell of an appetite. You know what I'm saying? And her hair color turned off a lot of guys, you know, in that time or whatever. So she tried to change herself. You know what I'm saying? And when she finally, she finally found somebody.
Yeah, she did.
Eventually, but then she has that inner conflict where she's like,
I'm not. This isn't me.
Yeah, right. And then I obviously I think she might as well I think she cancels the marriage basically. They don't really say it. It just like that's how they end the backstory where she was like, this isn't me. This is not who I am. Yeah. So and then eventually she becomes a Hashira, and also too, real quick, I love how the master he in these two backstories that he shows their interactions with Mitsuri and Tokido and all that. Like it's different. Their relationships are different. You know what I'm saying?
and especially compared to Muzan, because with Tokido he's like, hey, worry about living. Right. Your memories will return. Just focus on living.
Right.
And how with Mitsuri, she's like, yeah, I don't really eat that much because it like scares people. And he's like, dude, eat whatever you want here. Yeah. And like, cool, you have a lot of strength. Use it. And she's like, really? And then she's like demolishing like 37 cheeseburgers.
Yeah. No, her character is great. Like I said, it's the prototypical fantasy anime woman. You know what I'm saying? Like how I feel like a lot of women definitely are fans of Mitsuri because she has that personality. Yeah. Very bubbly, very giving, very caring. You know what I'm saying? And her design was great. Like her design and the sword. Her sword was perfect. Like it matched.
Yeah, it matches her. Yeah,
it does. It matches her. But just the way she fights with the sword. Just with the elegance and like you said earlier, Dabir, when we were talking about her this past week, it's like she's like a ballerina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she's in the moon, you know, and she's like doing these somersaults and splits like in midair.
Yeah,
and
just
everything.
like a very acrobatic fighter.
Yeah. I like that. That was pretty cool. Like to see her in action was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I definitely do. That was a unique fighting style.
Yeah,
you know,
I
for her.
definitely enjoyed watching that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just straightforward, hey, I'm gonna slash your neck.
Right.
You know,
right.
go from there.
I like the one part where she grabs one, like she wraps the sword around one of the dragon's mouth, and just swings him back and he lands on his head.
She uses it like a whip instead of a
Right,
sword. Yeah,
right. Kind of like
it was
Black
pretty
Whip.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Ooh,
kind of like My
okay.
Hero, a little My Hero reference,
Yeah.
kind of like Black
I
Whip.
love her fighting style.
Yeah.
It was different. You know,
It
'cause we used
fits
to
her.
it fits her. Yeah, it fits her.
Yeah, it fits her.
Mhm.
You know, but like you said, we're just used to seeing slash and dash. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And she fights more gracefully.
Yeah, gracefully, and her love breathing techniques, they were all different. Like the way
Yeah.
she uses them.
Yeah, I actually, and with Tokido too, and honestly, every Hashira and everyone that we've seen so far, I love the names for the attacks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're
Like-
cool. They're pretty cool.
Was it like Mystery had like what was it? Cat loving?
Yeah, she had one where it was like butterflies of a first date or something like that, and I'm like,
yeah.
all right, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of representing what love is all
Yeah.
about and everything. That's pretty cool. Yeah, she, like I said, she's a very interesting character. I think she's, you know, she's probably a popular character, especially with all the women, because you know she has that great personality. It's funny because I was rewatching the last episode last night, and my girl, we got to the part where she's fighting hatred. It's at the end.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm going to die. And my girl's not the prototypical, like, she's into hardcore shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She really is. You know, she likes Demon Slayer because of all the slashing and all that.
Yeah.
So
all the
when
violence.
Yeah. So when Mitsuru was like, I'm gonna die, she goes, man, that was weak. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm just kind of laughing, like, yeah, you are different. That's for sure, man.
It's funny too, because like I saw a post where it's that top picture, and then like the bottom is just all these different Hashira, and it's Tengen saying that's not very flashy of you to go out like that.
yeah. But that was pretty cool. I mean, like I said, Mitsuru is a good character. I think she's a really good character. And then we get to the end where Mitsuru's fighting hatred. They're going at it. And then Tanjiro, Genya, and Nezuko are all chasing after the main body, like Hantegu's actual body.
Yep.
You know, like I said earlier before, I like when Genya rips the tree out of the roots and just launches, just throws it at little.
Tired of all this.
Yeah. He goes, the hell with this, you know, and just like throws it right. So Tanjiro breaks his foot earlier. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he like broke his foot or something.
Yeah.
The fan, was it Pleasure?
Yeah.
He actually hit Tanjiro's foot and crushed it with that fan attack.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
pretty,
Yeah, he actually messed up his foot pretty good. But when he finally remembers something that Senetsu was saying about the
thunder breathing.
Yeah, where it's not about actual breathing.
It's not the total concentration unless you look at every fiber of your being, every muscle, every tendon, everything in your body, and you use all of it at 100%.
Right. And when he used that thunder breathing or with a total concentration, that was pretty dope.
He just zoomed right by them.
Real quick, I feel like I said, in this season, I feel like Tanjiro had a lot of character. Like there's some significant character development Tanjiro had.
Oh yeah.
Because in the first two seasons, he's very timid, he's very scared of fighting, demons, especially in the second season where he was fighting number 6.
Yeah, Gyotaro.
Gyotaro, when he was fighting him. And like you said, this past week we were talking about it. He always had somebody near him. You know what I'm saying? Rengoku in the train. Tengen.
I mean, even with Tengen, he had Inosuke and Zenitsu there.
Right.
Yeah.
So this one was basically like, this is after, Pleasure had knocked Tokido 450 feet away. You know what I'm saying? Just launched them, and then so you can see Tanjiro's more confident when he's taking on these upper ranks.
Taking charge when it comes to attack and trying to get him like, yo, no, okay, this is how we're gonna do this.
and I like how you phrase that too, of taking charge, because when Genya was getting bodied by Sorrow, like Nezuko's fighting and he's like, Nezuko, go help Genya. I got this here. Go help him. And she's like,
While he's being taken away.
Yeah. He's like, hey, it's cool. Like,
Oh, that's when Joy took him.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about that too. Because when he's like, yo, I got to get back to Genya and Nezuko. I got to get back to Genya and Nezuko. And he's fighting Joy. And then as he was thinking, okay, what's the way to get back? And then when Joy is coming at him, he's just thinking, the hell with it. I'm just going to, ride with Joy, basically,
Yeah.
So he sticks his sword in Joy's mouth, and they're flying back to the hotel room, right? They finally get there. Anger turns around. He's like, oh, it's that boy again. What Anger didn't see was Tanjiro cut his foot off and then used it against Anger's
His
lightnings, and to neutralize the thunder. I was like, dude.
And it was just a theory, and then that was just him testing it out. It's
Right.
like, you know what? We just gonna try it.
And it showed he has great instincts too.
Yeah, and Anger even brought that up. They're like, he's adapting to the fight as it goes on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it shows, I think, like I said, Tanjiro shows a lot of development in this season where he's believing in his instincts. He's more confident fighting these upper ranks. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like he's taking charge. Like you said, he's taking charge and everything, and he's really showing that, he's getting stronger,
Yeah.
And to keep it with the emotions and stuff, remember that later on too, before Genya became in his demon form, he sliced all three of their heads. But before that, he got into his stance, and all of them were like, all right, cool, come on, dude, bring it. You're the only one left. What are you gonna do?
That's when Nezuko was giving him the blood.
Yeah, the exploding
blood sword.
Yeah, and then I like how Anger's like, hold on a minute, why does it seem he's like, this is Lord Muzan's memories.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, oh, this,
Super PST. Yeah.
he's like,
PTSD.
oh,
Yep.
this isn't good. This isn't good.
Yeah.
This isn't good. And then like clean swipe of all three.
Yeah.
And he's like, woo.
In one motion too.
Yeah,
It was like one motion.
In one motion. And that's where he looked over. He's like, hey, Genya, did we do it? And he looks over. He's like a demon. He's like, Genya?
Yeah. I forgot to bring that part up. Yeah, because that's what Genya was like drooling on himself and everything. Yeah, but again, that just shows more Tanjiro's development.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With that exploding blood sword. For him to do that, and like I said, he just swiped them all in one swipe. That was pretty.
And the animation
cool.
for that was
that was beautiful.
It was awesome. It was great. It was great. It looked like what's it? Ufobito? The animation studio.
Oh no!
I don't know how to pronounce it. I know what you're talking about, but
it just blank check, boom, take it. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. But that was good. Yeah, I like that part. And like I said, it shows a lot of Tanjiro's development, and he's getting stronger. And going back to what I was saying earlier, he used the total concentration to get to Hantegu. He's gonna cut his head off, and then Hantegu grows another body, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's resentment, Yeah, it's basically his same body but just enlarged.
Yeah.
So he grows into, and then like resentment is just choking the hell out of Tanjiro, you know what I'm saying? Just yoking him up and everything.
Well, yelling, "Don't you feel bad for me?"
Yeah,
like, excuse me.
Feel bad for you. You're the one choking me. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? Like, but then eventually Genya rips his arms off.
He rips his arms off.
He rips them off. And then
Nezuko throws the blood art, demon blood art on Hantegu.
Yeah.
Top half of his body lights on fire.
And
So
then I think that's where they fall off the cliff.
they fall off the cliff. Yeah. This is a great scene. So the sun is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Daybreak is almost here.
Oh my god! And so Tanjiro felt like he had cut off. He already finished Hantegu, but he didn't realize that resentment wasn't the main body. The main body was inside resentment, which is crazy. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the main body's inside resentment, and it's going after those other swordsmith who are just hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, pretty much.
How do you hide in plain sight? I don't
they're
know.
behind like 3 small rocks. It's like, they're not going to see me here.
Yeah. It was stupid. But regardless, so resentment's chasing after them. And so Tanjiro has to make a choice because the sun is rising. His sister's being burned alive. Or it's either his sister being burned alive or resentment eats these swordsmith.
Yeah.
And then replenishes his health.
Yeah. So it's like Tanjiro's trying to make a choice. And I think we talked about it earlier because when you, Derek, when you said he didn't really make a choice, I felt like he did.
No, he did because, like I said, like I rewatched it earlier today. So he gets up and he's like, Nezuko, you got to go find Shade. You got to go find Shade.
Right.
I will be right back. And like he goes to run, but he's like, I can't. I have nothing left. I have nothing left in the tank. I can't do this. Yeah. And then that's where Nezuko starts to get burned real bad, even more.
Right.
Like she starts freaking out.
Right.
And because then he holds her, he's like, you got to get small. You got to get small. And that's where she's like.
Now he's definitely hesitant to going back.
Yeah, he's like, I can't, because he's like looking around and it shows Genya up top, like trying to like climb down the cliff.
Yeah.
He's talking, but he can't hear him.
He's like, Genya's too far away. I can't get to there and back. I can't carry her because it's going to slow me down. And that's where like Nezuko's like, hey, see ya.
Yeah. She knocks the hell, not knocks him out, but she launches him. Yeah. It just shows Nezuko's pretty strong. She is. But yeah, she ends up making the choice for him. Yeah, saying like, yo, you got to go save these people.
And then, because that's, he doesn't have a sword because it's still lodged in, it's still lodged in his neck. Yeah. I just remembered that.
And then Tokyo comes in the clutch, launches, like, he goes, Tanjiro, use this sword.
Yeah, he's looking around like,
right,
who is calling me?
Yeah, because he heard it a couple times. You're right. I'm sorry, Dabir, you're right. Yeah. He said, all you hear is Tanjiro.
Right, I'm like, who is that?
I love that too, that it's like you hear him and like you see like Tanjiro looking around and you see like a flash and you're like, what's that? And then the sword just comes out of nowhere and lands right in front of him. And like I think you kind of see on Tanjiro's face of like, did he just throw a sword at me?
He's like, what are you, nuts?
And then it's back to Tokyo. He's like, just use it. Just use it.
And then you see Hagenessa, don't you use that sword.
And he's like, don't use it. It's not done yet. He's like, you use it, I'll kill you.
It's like, it's still in stage 1. It's like, dude, like you've been honing that sword for a while. It's still in stage 1? How is this even possible? But yeah, he eventually uses a sword and he finally saves those people. And then as he saves those people, he's just like, he's thinking, man, my sister's dead.
At that point, he definitely felt like she's already gone.
And everybody's like, Tanjiro, look behind you.
He's like,
look behind you.
He's like, what? Go look at my sister's dead body. Yeah. No thanks. And they're like, no, Tanjiro, literally, like, look behind you.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw that, I was like, what the hell's going on? Why is Nezuko talking? Like, what is going on, bro? Like, she's standing, like nothing happened, and I'm thinking she turned back human all of a sudden. But then I look at her harder, like I look at her eyes and teeth, and it's like, okay, she's not human yet, and it's like, oh, but she conquered the sun, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
it's like, wait a minute, weren't you just burning up? Hold up.
She's like shish kebab for a minute. I ain't gonna lie. That shit
like,
good
morning.
Crazy. Yeah.
She's like,
hello,
good morning.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of in shock. I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw it, I was like, yo.
And the thing is too is that like once it starts to register too, because you're like, oh, that's good. Like she conquered the sun, and then like you see like Tanjiro hugging her. It's like, oh, okay, that's good. It's good that he's starting to get his sister back, and you're like, these are happy memories. we're having a good. And then it snaps to Muzan. Muzan.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, and he's like, I finally found it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the happy memories are done right now.
Which, it's funny when they went to that scene because they showed his backstory. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So now you've seen that he was the first demon, but he was a man-made demon. Yeah. Basically. You know what I'm saying? He's a man-made monster, basically. Yeah. Because he had taken this medicine from this doctor who, in Muzan's head, it's not working. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, when he kills the doctor because
in anger because he just wants to kill all things. He's just so upset.
He's miserable.
World. Yeah,
he was very miserable. A very angry person. Mm-hmm. And when he finally realized, yo, this doctor's medicine actually works, and then he was like, yo, I'm mad strong. Like, yo. Yeah. He goes, oh, this is great. And then when he finally realized his only weakness was the sun, he was like, damn, man. Like,
basically,
I should never killed that doctor,
Like, man, I can't have shit here.
Yeah. You can't have nothing nice, man. But, yeah, when they showed that, I was thinking, wow, like, it's next season is about to go down. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the Hashira training arc.
I mean, Derek's been begging me to read this manga.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's... So I will say this. For the people who are complaining about the pace... it's going to be slow. The Hashira training arc is going to be slow because you have everyone's backstory, so you haven't seen yet.
I think to me personally, I don't mind because you get all the answers.
Oh yeah,
Right.
You know, you finally get answers to some of the questions. You know what I'm saying?
So many answers that get questioned with this, and then the Infinity Castle arc.
Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, it's how I felt. You know, to compare it to My Hero Season 5, where it was just a big build season compared to what Season 6 had brought. You know what I'm saying? When the heroes fought the Liberation Front, it's kind of going to be the same thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, where they're going to build for this final battle between the Hashiras and Muzan in the upper ranks. You know what I'm saying? So you need patience. You know what I'm saying? Because the payoff is gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion.
Yeah.
So I can. Derek's excited. He can't wait. Well, he read it.
I need all of it animated now.
Yeah. I can't wait. And the animation is gonna be ridiculous.
Oh.
You already know the animation is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. But no, this was fun, guys.
Yeah.
This was cool. You know, Derek, appreciate it. Once again.
Yeah. Like I said, thank you for having me on. It's
the boss.
Oh, jeez, don't start.
The boss.
It's not very flashy, are you? All right. Yeah, like I said, like I listen to him every week, and it's great being on. So thank you again for having me.
No, we appreciate it. And again, to check us out on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and iTunes, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Anime Break Room. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Anything else, Dabir?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, Derek, again, we appreciate it. This was fun. You know, hopefully bring you back on soon. And for everybody else, break time is over. Oh, wait, real quick, before break time is over, we in the Anime Break Room are taking a week hiatus.
I actually forgot about that.
Yes, we are. So we're going to take a week hiatus. We like to bring the show out weekly, but next week we're not going to be able to have anything right now because we are waiting for the awakening of Gear 5. We're excited. So next week, Tuesday, because we are going to publish our episodes every Tuesday. So next week, Tuesday, we won't have anything for you, but I believe the next episode will be bear with us because we have to check our calendars.
Jeez, this is news to me. What am I gonna do for a week?
Oh, Derek, you will be okay.
No,
so
man, I don't know about that.
So the 25th we won't have an episode, but the 1st of August we will. And the 1st of August, our next that episode will be the Wings of the Pirate King versus the lead performers. Ooh. The battle with Zoro and Sanji. The battle with Zoro and Sanji versus King and Queen. So we're excited to bring you that. We are going to apologize for the week hiatus, but we will come back for you guys soon enough. So with that being said, break time is over and have a good day.